We have a 1-land hand, so there's also no mana dork, so we're going to mulligan this. This hand isn't much better, but we could win by 4, I think, turn 4. So I think we can keep this. We're going to want most of our lands here. The Dryad Arbor isn't really the best. We could play that turn 1, go to Strangleroot Geist on turn 2. I think we lose the Scavenging Ooze and try and just combo out quickly here. So we'll hope and pray they don't have a lightning bolt here. Okay, Breeding Pool and Amulet of Vigor. Okay, hopefully we'll be a little bit faster than them. I know the Amulet deck does go very, very quickly, especially when they have the namesake card in the in play. So we might not even have time here, but we're very close, so we'll give it a shot. Get an Urborg here. So I think we play the Urborg, evolve the Geist into a zombie, and hope that we live to play Yawgmoth. We just need one more turn. I don't think they'll be able to turn on the Valakut that fast. But looks like they are going to be able to play Titan here. They should be able to give it haste, I think. No, just more Valakuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many triggers is that? 6? Is that lethal? 4, 5, 6. Very good. Okay, we're going to want to bring in Ashiok for sure. Brontodon and Reclamation Sage as well. We could bring in Dampening Sphere. I think that's all the cards that we would want. We can take out Scavenging Ooze. I like the Chupacabra. I don't think the Revoker is going to hit very much. They might have something sweet in their sideboard that I don't know about. Need to take out 2 more cards. I'd like to keep in my mana so that I can accelerate. I think that I could take out a Messenger and maybe the Witness. Okay, we'll take the play. This hand is okay. We'll keep. We can play Bird of Paradise into Wallerroot Strangleroot Geist to start, and then have Thrashing Brontodon to potentially take care of an amulet if they have one. We are missing a crucial piece. We don't have a way to find Yawgmoth yet. Okay, here we go again. Let's start with the Verdant Catacombs. We have the Twilight Mire, so we might just get a basic forest so that we stay above 18 life. Let's expand this a little bit. Make sure we get forest. And we'll pass with the bird. Okay, naming Beast with the Cavern of Souls, and we find the Yawgmoth. That's perfect. Land off the top is what we're looking for now. Okay, so they're going quite slow here, giving us the opportunity to hopefully play Yawgmoth this turn. No, Young Wolf instead. Well, we do have 4 mana. Just wondering, with considering the slow start, I could put the Young Wolf into play and a Wall of Roots here and not expose the Yawgmoth, but I don't necessarily think they're going to have a way to answer it. And then do I sacrifice the Strangleroot Geist to get an extra point of damage in and draw a card? Okay, we get land. So now we can play the Young Wolf. That does put us... Well, we were already below 18 anyway with the Yawgmoth activation. So we can get Overgrown Tomb here. We're out of mana, and we won't have enough to put a Chord of Calling into play just yet. Next turn, though, we're looking to hopefully take the game. We'll be able to draw a ton of cards and find the cards that we need. So it looks like the opponent's just gone too slow here. Dampening Sphere, don't care. So we're going to start the combo here. target this, sacrifice Yawgmoth, find Overgrown Tomb, target Yawgmoth, sacrifice Geist. Okay, we find Chord of Calling, so we'll just cast this X2. Get the Cutthroat, and then continue the combo. Okay, I don't think we want to change anything really about the sideboard. We could bring in Assassin's Trophy, actually. Could kill a Primeval Titan before it attacks. Might like that over a Dampening Sphere. Alright, so this hand is quite slow. We could evolve a Cutthroat into Yawgmoth by turn 3, but we have no backup at all. We have Assassin's Trophy, but again, we just really aren't doing anything for the first couple turns. I think we can do better with a random 6. I much prefer this hand. I'll get rid of one of the lands. I'll definitely want to keep these cards, these 5 cards. So I have to get rid of either Second Bird or Basic Swamp. I think I'll get rid of the Swamp and keep the Bird. Hope to draw more land. Okay. We are not playing Flicker Wisp, so we can't really do anything fun with that. We'll go get Basic Forest, play Bird of Paradise, pass. Next turn we'll probably play the Messenger, unless we draw a Geist or something similar. Wall of Roots would be quite nice. Okay, we get an Evolution, so we can turn the Birds of Paradise into something. I would rather transform a Geralf's Messenger, though. Let's take a quick look. What did we bring in here? We brought in Sage, Thrashing Brontodon, Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything here that really just gets them, so we're going to just play Geralf's Messenger. Okay, Crumbling Vestige. They do get mana from that, and here comes the Dryad. We do have Brontodon to get it off the field. Let's see what we draw here. Okay. We currently have more life than the opponent. Is it possible to get Yawgmoth into play after using Evolution? We could play this Yawgmoth's Tomb. I don't think we're going to be able to combo off this turn. And with the Geralf Turf in play, and the Dryad, the opponent can potentially put a Titan into play. So we might want to prioritize killing the Dryad. We could evolve the Geralf's Messenger into Reclamation Sage. But we're also at 19 life here, so I'm wondering if they can actually kill me or just put me to 1. I think I'll play the Thrashing Brontodon, kill the Dryad, and attack with the Messenger. So now they can't do Valakut things. Okay, here's a Karn. That could be a problem. Okay, so they get Pithing Needle, which can name Yawgmoth. We can kill the Karn. I'm wondering if we get land here, can we go find Yawgmoth? So we have access to 4, 5, 6 mana potentially. The problem is if we sacrifice the Geralf's Messenger, then it comes into play tapped, and we're not able to tap it for the Chord of Calling. So I think because of that, we're just going to be 1 mana short. That's 4, 5. So we'll have 2 left after we evolve the Messenger, and we get Yawgmoth. So yeah, I think we're off. I don't think we have enough mana to do both, and just kill them here. So I think that we attack the Karn, get the Yawgmoth, and then we can Chord of Calling for a Reclamation Sage next turn. Okay, and we'll play the Tomb. So we have access to Chord of Calling for Dryad Arbor, but that's not going to get us the combo, so we're not going to bother paying life, and we'll just pass back. Okay, so they're summoning a Titan. And they have enough mana for Pithing Needle, but our Chord of Calling can kill the Pithing Needle. I'm just wondering if I want to draw some cards right now. I think that I still just wait for Chord of Calling, and then I can draw maximum cards. We could just play the Verdant Catacombs. I don't think there's any reason that we need to hold it. We just have access to more mana that way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Convoke is 3. We'll go get our Druid here. Reclamation Sage. Kill the Pithing Needle. Okay, and now we start the combo. So we'll target Geralf's Messenger, sacrifice Bird because it's tapped. Okay, we get another Messenger, and we can cast it, so we win here. Okay, this hand is very, very slow. We're really counting on anything that we draw from the top of the deck. And if we just draw lands, we're going to die. I could potentially keep this and just hope that I get like Bird or whatever off the top, but I think a random 6 is going to be better than this 5 land garbage. Okay, we have 3 lands. We have Yawgmoth, Geist, Messenger, Evolution. We have everything we need. We do have to put 1 card back. I think we probably put back Messenger or Dryad Arbor. Unfortunately, the Dryad Arbor means that we're going to have trouble casting Yawgmoth into Strangleroot Geist. The Urborg does mean we can cast the Geralf's Messenger. So maybe we put back Strangleroot Geist, take a turn off, so that we can play Overgrown Tomb Yawgmoth into... okay. Complicated mulligan decisions, huh? Forest Island Mountain. Get another Yawgmoth. That's cool. So we'll be able to play the second Yawgmoth while we're playing Dryad Arbor. Depending if we get a mana dork off the top, we'll want to play that. Okay, Bird of Paradise. Let's attack with the Yawgmoth and play a couple of mana creatures. We are going to have to be very careful about the Eldritch Evolution. The opponent is going to be playing counterspells. So, counterspell against Eldritch Evolution is particularly painful. Okay, bolt the bird. And Uro, that's fine. and it does ramp them. So they have access to all the manas. We find another evolution. As much as I would love to evolve this turn, I really think that evolving for anything but Yawgmoth isn't worth it. I would rather play the Urborg and the Messenger, and I can just attack with Yawgmoth. Okay, another growth spiral. Fuel for the Uro. And they have the Misty here, so they can definitely play the Uro. They're going for Escape Shift instead. We could just be dead here. Okay, if they get Field of the Dead, we're okay, but if they get a bunch of mountains and Valakut, then we're toast. Okay, there's the Valakut and a bunch of mountains, so we're dead. Second loss to Valakut. We only have 2 Overgrown Tombs in the deck. Alright, so we're going to want Ashiok again for sure. We could play Jailer to turn off their Uro. Veil of Summer looks great, and we could play Thoughtseize. Not too hot on Phyrexian Revoker here. Can take out... I definitely like Scavenging Ooze. Chupacabra, kind of meh. Oh, bring in that Messenger again. I want to take out most of my evolutions. They're quite a risk against a counterspell deck. So do I want a second evolution, or do I want Ravenous Chupacabra? Or, okay, no, the Eternal Witness is still in. I think we'll bring in another evolution here. Okay, we'll play first. We have a 2-land hand, plenty of mana. We have Yawgmoth. We have a way to go back above 18. We're going to keep this. Having the Peatland is a little bit painful, but the Goose is going to allow us to head back up above the 18. So they'll need an extra land to end the game. Okay, we get Forest. We have access to 3 mana, so we can play Yawgmoth, Bird of Paradise, Gilded Goose. Just wondering if we should be playing around Anger of the Gods. They won't be able to play it next turn, and we can evolve and get started. But we really need a 2-drop. So I think we need all the mana we can possibly get. So we'll go to 18 and play the Goose. Okay, they do have access to Counterspell here, but we can... oh, and we get Chord of Calling. Perfect. So we can just pass the turn. We can attack with Yawgmoth, but we won't have enough mana if we do that to chord into Yawgmoth, so we're just going to pass. Okay, so since they tap their mana, we're going to take that opportunity to play Chord of Calling. Go get Yawgmoth. We can go ahead and draw a card for free right now. Okay, we get Strangleroot Geist. So we're well on our way to winning here. Okay, Anger of the Gods. Our Yawgmoth will survive, and we'll draw cards for all the creatures that we lose. So let's see here. We sacrifice... So... Put a counter on this, sacrifice this. Okay. Put a counter on the wolf, sacrifice the bird. Okay, we get another Chord of Calling, so we're almost there. We can lose a life to put the Yawgmoth in the graveyard, but I don't know that there's much purpose in that. I think we just let it happen now. Oh, and they have the Lightning Bolt for the Yawgmoth. Okay. But we did manage to draw out of that. So we're not just toast. We have the Eternal Witness, which can rebuy one of the cards in the graveyard. Could go get Bird of Paradise put into play. Otherwise, we could play Strangleroot Geist, and that's pretty much it. The Eternal Witness plan gives us more mana. We could even go get Goose. We have food, and that would give us more food. Okay, we have nothing more to play here. Okay, here's another Anger of the Gods. So we lose that. And they have access to some kind of counter magic, I suspect. We're just going to be playing Strangleroot Geist and passing. Attacking, of course. Opponent giving us quite the hard time here. Going to 12, so our 2 foods will no longer get us above 18. So while we were able to draw a ton of cards from those Anger the Gods, at this point the opponent is putting Anger the Gods back on top of the library. That's a problem. Yeah, and with a Wrenn and 6, they'll be able to continuously grab Sanctuaries. So if we get land off the top, we can evolve. Okay, we got Chord of Calling. So I could I could evolve the Strangleroot Geist into Yawgmoth. I could Chord of Calling then for Yawgmoth, and we would be able to draw a ton of cards. In that case, we can attack with the Strangleroot Geist first, because we're going to be sacrificing it with Evolution, and then we'll have the mana from Chord of Calling. Might have put our opponent to sleep there while we were thinking about our play. I think we just attacked the Wrenn and 6. But it's pretty close. Off by 1 mana too. Ugh. Okay, they could counter this spell as well, but we were in a position where we just had to go for it, I think. Yeah, they have the Cryptic Command. So we can't really do anything more at this point. It's not too bad losing half of a Geist. Could have been a lot worse. Is this another Mystic Sanctuary? What is this giant mana sink? Oh, Escape Shift. Okay, so we lost this one. No lands, so we'll obviously mulligan. Okay, we have lands and spells. I think we'll get rid of the Revoker here. We can start with Gilded Goose, and then play Wall of Roots into Yawgmoth. Hold the mana for Goose, and then play Yawgmoth turn 3 and go off. So we'll just get rid of the Revoker, because that's not part of that plan. So do we want to play the Yawgmoth first? Because we're not going to be using the mana from the Goose on the first turn. And this will keep me insulated against removal. Okay, Temple Garden tapped. We get another Yawgmoth. Okay, so we'll start with an attack. And we're going to want to play the Gilded Goose to try and guarantee that next turn Yawgmoth. If we do manage to draw a land, we'll have access to the Yawgmoth, which means we'll be able to combo. They are keeping 2 lands open, and 1 is Hallowed Fountain. So they could have some kind of counter magic here. It is possible. So maybe I just play Yawgmoth, fill out the board, and go for the Yawgmoth next turn when I'll have more mana. Let's see if they do anything here. Don't think they'll be threatened by a 1/1. Okay, and we can make another food during the opponent's turn with the goose. Okay, Icefang Coatl. I think the opponent might be playing a creature combo deck themselves. Skyclave Apparition. So, good thing we didn't play Yawgmoth. And now they're tapped out. So we're going to be able to do some stuff. Okay, we find Evolution. Let's see here. So we have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we're not going to be able to evolve. Or we could play the Evolution instead of the Yawgmoth. Could evolve one of the Wall of Roots into Yawgmoth and combo from there. And then we'll have access to more mana to play a... I was just thinking about Chord of Calling, but sacrificing the Wall of Roots denies us the 1 mana that the Eldritch Evolution really saves. Alright. Put a minus counter on the Wall of Roots and use our mana. Evolve the wall. Go get Yawgmoth. Okay, Force of Negation. That's why we should have played the Yawgmoth from hand. Wasn't thinking of that. That's a punt. We lose out big time. Now opponent has their mana untapped. If we lose our goose or our wall, we don't have access to 4 mana anymore. Okay, so they go get Noble Hierarch, whatever. They attack for 3, don't care. Could block with a Yawgmoth, but no, we won't. Okay, we'll take our turn. Find land. Play Yawgmoth. Okay. So first thing, we'll kill the Noble Hierarch and sacrifice Yawgmoth. Okay, we find Bird of Paradise. We will sacrifice Wall of Roots and put a counter on Yawgmoth. Oh, we messed that up. We put that backwards. Oh, that's a punt. First time I've made that mistake, but it happens. We can draw a couple more cards here, but we have no mana to cast it. Let's pass the turn and hope that our Yawgmoth survives on the board for another turn. Otherwise, we can take the apparition off the board. This does have protection from humans, so we can block this turn. And we'll have a couple draws to find a couple good cards. Scavenging Ooze, meh, but Dryad Arbor does play. We're going to kill the Giver of Ruins. Okay, we find Yawgmoth. Could also be thinking about using the Proliferate here. We do have access to 2 mana. Okay, we've got a Chupacabra. And we have 2 mana here, so we could play Scavenging Ooze. Or we could use the Proliferate. Let's keep drawing cards. Okay, so we could sacrifice the illusion to keep going, but I think we can just pass here and try and go off next turn. We've got a handful of cards here, and we've got a steady wall against their creatures. We are running a little bit short on time. That turn did take a minute, but I think we should win this turn coming up. We just need to find a way to search our library. I think we go get Forest here, though we might actually want to get Swamp because we have Geralf's Messenger. Let's get Swamp. Looks like we'll have a couple more turns before the opponent can really pressure us. Okay, we find another land. Think that we just go ahead and start drawing cards and see what we find. Okay, we find Gilded Goose. Just realizing we don't have the mana to sweep the board right now. We could play 1 land and play Gilded Goose or Bird of Paradise, but that puts us to 3. And we're very close to to fizzling out if we lose any more life. We might need to pass for one more turn. We're not scared of Batterskull here. Although the Ranger Captains are pretty annoying. I would have liked to have been able to take those out this turn, but I wasn't thinking about that. I suppose I still could by sacrificing some of my board. But we can do that on the opponent's turn. And then we don't need to worry about their abilities if the Ranger Captains are dead. Okay. We had too much value there. So we're playing against some sort of Stoneforge deck. Collector Ouphe means that their swords aren't going to work, but I feel like that's not a great plan. Reclamation Sage and Brontodon seem fine. Ashiok to keep them from searching their library seems good. We could also run Fatal Push. Let's see here. I'm not a huge fan of Scavenging Ooze. We'll take out the Witness. The Phyrexian Revoker could be pretty good. Chupacabra's okay. We can take out one of the messengers and maybe I just take out a bird. Okay, we have no ramp here and no plays for the first two turns. We're going to mulligan. We have two lands, and we have play on the second turn, and we get pretty strong by turns 4. So we're going to keep this. We're going to get rid of probably the second evolution. We'll keep one Chord and one evolution. Yeah, I like Chord of Calling with Khalni Garden. Okay, they got a good turn 1 play there. Play a turn 1 creature of our own. Land creature, go. This one makes mana too. Okay, they got something here. Looks like they're pretty excited to get it into play. Ah, they got the Soul Herder already. So this is going to be blinking their cards, I believe. Whenever a creature is exiled, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Beginning of your end step, you may exile another creature you control, and then return it to your control. Okay, so that will get quite large quite quickly. I'm hoping that it's not going to be a problem. I'm hoping that we'll be too fast for that to beat us. We will absolutely offer the trade if they want to trade Geist for Soul Herder. But we might actually just keep it back, because then they can't attack. We already have more life than them, and I don't think we're going to be winning through combat. I think we're going to be winning through combo. Okay, Skyclave can get rid of the Geist. So we can no longer evolve it. Oh, Soul Herder Skyclave Apparition is insidious. Can't take the plant though. I didn't realize quite how insidious that was. It's going to be very difficult to get through that. I'm going to need to go get a Chupacabra, but I don't have nearly enough mana to get that done. Then we'll just play the Tomb tapped here and pass. We're in quite a bit of trouble. Okay, we'll just take the 6. Okay, we get Fatal Push, so we can take the Soul Herder off the board. That will also really slow down their clock. And then we could evolve the plant into a 2-drop. So let me take a quick look here and see what we have for 2-drops. We have the Zulaport Cutthroat, Scavenging Ooze, Wall of Roots, and Strangleroot Geist. The Wall of Roots could be okay, just to get us more mana and a blocker. Could also go get Strangleroot Geist. Either one would be fairly good. I'm leaning towards Strangleroot Geist here, because it combos with the Yawgmoth and still blocks the Apparition. Okay, we'll pass here. Do have quite a bit of catching up to do now. Ah, they have another Skyclave Apparition. Okay. So we're going to be playing Yawgmoth, but they still have 3 cards in hand. So we're in quite a bit of trouble here. Oh, Reclamation Sage, that hits nothing here. Play this pass. We do have a Chord of Calling, but the opponent's board is putting up too much pressure. They can attack with the Coatl here. Okay, that's GG. So Reclamation Sage is looking okay, but I really don't think that's where we should be going. We might actually want to bring in the Assassin's Trophy just to really get rid of that that one creature. Not too satisfied with the Phyrexian Revoker in this matchup either. It's mostly enter the battlefield triggers. Unfortunately, we only have 1 Plague Engineer. So maybe we just bring the other bird in. Could bring in the Plague Engineer. That might have been good. Okay, this hand is fine, we'll keep. If we get to turn 4 without a exile effect, we could just win the game. I don't like no play on turn 2, but it is what it is. We're looking to play Geralf's Messenger on turn 3, and then evolving it into Yawgmoth for the win. That's the plan anyway. Okay, they're holding up mana. They could have, what is that card? Exile a black permanent. I might just play the Thrashing Brontodon and start trying to pressure them. Okay, they have the Quaddle. I was thinking about something else, so we might have just slowed ourselves down for no reason. There's a 2-mana white instant that exiles a black or red permanent, so I was scared of that. Okay, Ashiok, we can no longer search our deck. Oh, we don't lose anything too important there. Okay, Dryad Arbor. So we could Chupacabra, kill the Quaddle, and then kill the Ashiok. I think it's worth using the Chupacabra here, just to kill the Ashiok. Get that off the board, and unlock our Eldritch Evolution again. Collected Company is pretty good from the opponent. They get a Skyclave Apparition, able to take something off the board. What do they choose? Nothing here is all that great. They might take the Yawgmoth because it's a combo piece. Yeah, but I get to keep my big creatures and attack them. And I also have access to Eldritch Evolution, so I can pretty much clear their board, I think. Let's start with an attack. If they want to trade the Apparition for the Chupacabra, that's fine. That'll get their creature off the board. And we'll get a token. Okay, we'll go get Yawgmoth here. And we'll kill their Noble Hierarch by sacrificing our illusion and drawing a card. We get an Ashiok for ourselves. We're just going to pass here and wait to see what the opponent does. We can still draw more cards if we want to. We have the Dryad Arbor to sacrifice. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana for both plays. I'm thinking the Ashiok is not actually all that great. I was thinking about the Stoneforge Mystics, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be all that powerful here. I think we'll just play the Geralf's Messenger, and we're going to attack for 3. We can also draw a card with the Peatland. That seems pretty good. Okay, we find Yawgmoth. We don't have the mana to cast it, but we can play it next turn. And the forest will cast the messenger because we have Urborg in play already. Okay, they have 3 cards in hand. Bouncing the Apparition would give us a 4/4 token, though, even though we would lose probably our Geralf's Messenger. Okay, here's another company. Good card from the opponent. Champion and Apparition. Okay, that's pretty good. We're going to have a hard time beating the champion. Okay, we find Cutthroat. Okay, I think we just pass here. We could play a land to keep the Brontodon going, but let's see here. We could attack with Brontodon. They would have to block with all 4 creatures if they wanted to kill it, and then I could kill the champion. Okay, they're down to 5 now. The Cutthroat and the champion would cancel each other out. Okay, Ashiok, no problem. We don't have any search in our hand right now. We are losing out on some cards, though. Okay, that's not a problem either. But we do need to draw some more gas. We are way out of gas in the tank. Killing their apparitions is going to give us a bit of gas. Give us tokens. But a creature off the top would be very nice. Khalni Garden, that's pretty close. We'll go ahead and play that. We'll put a token on this apparition, sacrificing the plant. Get a Bird of Paradise, another creature, okay. Just wondering if I want to play the Cutthroat here and start gaining life as I'm going. I don't think that's really necessary. I would like to keep up mana for a better creature. And I can play it later if I need to. Okay. So I think I do play it here so I can keep the Brontodon. Okay, just another land. Unfortunate. Oh, and oh, what a punt. We didn't keep enough mana up to activate the Proliferate. But we can still attack here. I don't think they're going to block. We could, no, they would just block the Yawgmoth, so that's no good. We need another turn, unfortunately. Is this another apparition? No. Okay, so they're really flooding out the board here. We're going to need to do some work. Let's find a creature off the top, please. Strangleroot Geist, very nice. Oh, another land. Okay, we find another Geist. And we have the mana to do the proliferate thing. So we got a 3/3 and a 4/4 there. And then we can attack with our board. They have an easy block here, but they're going to be taking 7, it looks like. Yeah, that's fine. Surprised they don't block the Yawgmoth. They do have... Oh, this is a human, so it has protection from humans. That's why they can't block it. Very cool. Okay. This hand is great. We'll keep. Super, super good hand. Opponent kept on 7 as well. Let's find out what they're playing. Prismatic Vista. What does this go get? Snow-covered island. Makes sense. And Runecrab. Okay, so they're playing a mill strategy. We already have most of what we need in our hand. Let's start with the bird. Or we could start with the wolf. I think it's just going to be generally better to have more mana next turn, but I'm worried about the bird being murdered. And we wouldn't lose much momentum unless we draw Strangleroot Geist. Alright, let's just play the bird. We'll remember to use our skips here to preserve our clock. We do spend quite a bit of time considering our turns during our turns, so we're going to want to definitely make sure to hit those skips. Okay, another land. So we're just going to play Overgrown Tomb, Yawgmoth. There's nothing really good for the Eternal Witness this turn. And then we'll pass. Next turn we can play Yawgmoth and start drawing cards. Because they're a mill deck, they are going to be taking quite a bit of our damage potential out of our deck. We do damage equal to the number of cards that we have left in our library. So they might actually get to a point where they have more life than we have cards in our library, and we might not be able to kill them. Okay, we only have 27 cards left in our library. We find Dryad Arbor. So we'll just play the Tomb of Yawgmoth, I think. It does unfortunately give them access to more black mana, but I don't want to search. We could also play Eternal Witness, but I don't think there's anything really good here to be bringing back. We could get rid of one of their crabs. Drown in the Loch, so they get to counter my Yawgmoth. Okay, I think we're dead. And they were able to drown in the Loch because of the Urborg, so that's unfortunate. I just really didn't want to fetch. Okay, Field of Ruin. I mean, we're fetching now anyway. So they're going to be able to use their trap. Okay, we have exactly as many cards as they have life total now, and now we only have 3. So GG opponent. Okay, what do we have against Mill? Not very much. We have Thoughtseize, Veil of Summer. We could bring in Trophy to kill the crabs. Alright, do we need Scavenging Ooze? I mean, it would grow quite large, but I don't think that's really where we need to be. I think we can take out Scooze and Revoker. Eternal Witness is going to be quite good. So we could take out one Messenger, I suppose. All right, we got almost 2 minutes left here. I'm going to take a quick trip on the internet and take a look for a mill deck. Looks like I found a self-mill deck. That's not really what I was looking for. They have Cling to Dust, Surgical Extraction. Their deck is actually quite good against ours. And on the sideboard they have, let's see here, Profane Memento would stop the combo. Crypt Incursion. They also have Dead of Winter. And Ravenous Trap. So it might be worthwhile to bring in either Assassin's Trophy or Rec Sage. But I don't have a lot of time left to figure out what to take out. I'm just going to submit here. Yeah, we'll take the play. This hand is fine. It's not great, but we'll keep it. We do have to search in order to put our combo together, but this is a turn 4 win, depending on if we have enough cards left in our library. Okay, they have the crab. Okay, so we'll just play Tomb Tapped and pass. Send a message. Oh, they're just going to take the damage. Cool. Oh, they didn't have another crab to play here. So there is that. Nothing too important milled there. Oh, they do have another crab. Wonder why they didn't play that before they played their fetch land. Maybe that was a small misplay from the opponent. Okay, nothing too important lost on that mill. Nothing important lost there. Okay. We did lose our basic swamp. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. They could have a trap, but we have no choice. We have to play into it. Really not into Bird of Paradise Go. We'd only be able to search for a 1-drop with Chord of Calling. Send a message with the Yawgmoth. Oh, they take the damage again. Very cool. Let's see if they have a counterspell for 1 mana. I don't think they will. I think they might have trap though. Five cards. Hopefully it's 0 to 1 traps. Okay, I think we want to get Geralf's Messenger. It attacks through crabs, and it's a much better clock when we get Yawgmoth. And we'll have enough mana to play Evolution Bird of Paradise so we can reset the Messenger. Okay, now's their chance to trap. There it is. We lose only 1 Yawgmoth, but if they have Surgical, they can take it out of the graveyard, and then we lose access to it for the rest of the game. So this is what we were hoping to avoid. But yeah, they're able to Surgical our Yawgmoths. No more combo. And our Eternal Witness is already in the graveyard, so even if they missed one, we wouldn't be able to grab it. So that's unfortunate. So we're just going to have to win with Beatdown now. Let's see here. We have 1 Geralf's Messenger in the graveyard. Did we side one out? Yes, we did. So there's no more Geralf's Messengers in the deck. We'll have to go get Strangleroot Geist after combat, so we can attack with the Messenger as a 3/2. Looks like there's 2 Geists in the graveyard. We could also play the bird, evolve the bird, if we're just going for Strangleroot Geist. I don't know if that's better than attacking with a Geralf's Messenger and making the Messenger a 4/3, draining them 2. I don't think it is. We're just going to yield to these orbs. We'll turn off auto yield if we need to at some point, but having lost the Yawgmoths, I don't think our Chord of Callings are going to be doing much in the way of surprise winning the game on upkeep. Okay, we lost another Strangleroot Geist, but it looks like we might have 1 left in the deck. Oh, hey there, handsome. Was distracted by all the magic. Turns out that Mill is good against Yawgmoth combo. Imagine that. Alright, so we're just going to evolve the messenger into a Geist here, I think. We might actually grab something to get rid of this Mesmeric Orb instead. Let's see if we have something that does that. Unfortunately not. We're just going to have to get Strangleroot Geist. Yeah, we were running out of time and didn't put the Rec Sage in. Okay, so we're going to lose 6 cards here. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our last turn. They can just block. We're dead. Go to 75 cards. That's the true tech. Put the entire sideboard into deck against mill. Okay, Ashiok. That mills us the last cards, so we lose. No turn 1 play, but it does have Wall of Roots, Chord of Calling. And Strangleroot Geist. So it's actually very close. We're going to keep it and risk it. Good enough. Handsome says it's Wednesday. I don't know about that. Working nights really kind of messes with my concept of time. Okay, Yawgmoth, so we're most of the way there. Play this Wall of Roots. Would have liked a 1-drop though. Probably playing, what could we be playing against with basic Mountain? Could be a Prowess deck, but they would usually play a 1-drop creature. Could be, oh, this could be, is it? Huh, and they're just passing again? Maybe it's Storm. Okay, so we have access to 1, 2, 3 mana. 4 if we use the Chord of Calling. We could also play Strangleroot Geist with the Wall of Roots. And then we'll have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 mana for the Chord of Calling so we can get Yawgmoth. Or Bird of Paradise so that we can actually play the Yawgmoth. We might actually not have enough. No, we would have enough green if we don't attack. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I want to attack with it or keep the mana open for Chord of Calling to try and get Yawgmoth on the opponent's turn. We could also hold the Chord of Calling for Dryad Arbor to get us the guaranteed mana for Yawgmoth. I kind of like doing that, so I'm going to attack with Strangleroot Geist. We already have the other Geist in hand, so I just want to guaranteed get the Yawgmoth into play next turn. But we don't have the green mana here. I was just thinking we have access to 3 mana, but because we attacked with the Geist, that's our 3rd green source, so that's a punt. Okay, opponent is playing Omen of the Sea. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. I have no idea what's going on. Some sort of blink deck? I don't know. Here's a Blood Moon. Okay, so we lose access to black mana We only have a single green mana now. That's a problem. We could have got a... So we do have access to Chord of Calling. And we can go get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go get a 2-drop with Chord of Calling. We could go get another Wall of Roots to give us access to double green mana, so we can play Eldritch Evolution. Okay, we have access to no more mana this turn, so we cannot play another Geist. We'll just have to pass. Okay, they're getting rid of one of our green sources, so we can no longer play Eldritch Evolution. Can play Scavenging Ooze. We have Chord of Calling again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Chord again for a 2-drop. Yeah, it looks that way. Looks like Blue Moon. Haven't seen that in ages. We could attack with Geist and play Scavenging Ooze as well, just to try and present a clock. And then if we eat the Wall of Roots, it becomes a 3/3. All right. We'll see if we can get a better chord next turn. Yeah, we could wall. We could have walled as well, or we could go get Bird of Paradise. We can still go get Bird of Paradise at the end of the opponent's turn. Just really trying to... hopefully the opponent doesn't have Anger of the Gods. Wall of Roots would survive it. So we would still have access to green mana. But we wouldn't be able to Chord of Calling. Cryptic Command, Lightning Bolt on Wall of Roots would be pretty good from the opponent here. Okay, they're letting us go ahead and get our bird. And they might just bolt the bird. Snapcaster Mage. And we're out of mana, so we cannot hit that Lightning Bolt in response. They get rid of the wall or the bird? They get rid of the wall. Okay, we get Chupacabra. We have access to single green mana. So we can't play anything from our hand, but we can attack. If they try and block Scavenging Ooze, we can eat the Wall of Roots. Still think eating Wall of Roots is probably still our best play. We have nothing else to do. Okay, we'll pass again. They are going to have to take care of this board if they want to win. They have stifled our mana quite well, but they need answers. We get to untap with green mana here. That would be quite nice. And we do. And we have Chord of Calling. So we could go get another 2-drop. But I would prefer to keep the pressure going. So we're just going to attack. Okay, we're going to hold up activation on Scavenging Ooze so that we can save the Scooze from a Lightning Bolt or a Anger of the Gods. Okay, they're scrying. They went bottom, bottom. I guess I didn't have a stop on my end step, so I wasn't able to take advantage there. But yeah, when they tapped out, I should have just went ahead and made the Scooze a 4/4. Okay, they only have access to a single blue mana. We managed to steal it versus the Blood Moon. Take that, opponent. Okay, so we'll bring in the Rec Sage and the Brontodon. So we're playing against Blue Moon. Veil of Summer seems good. And there is an argument for Thoughtseize. I'm going to take a quick look, see if I can find a Blue Moon deck. It's been quite a while since I've played Blue Moon. So they run Planeswalkers,